Hello fabulous friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is bangbangvonloola. I am a burlesque dancer and producer as well as a beauty enthusiast. Today we're going to be talking about hair. Very simply, I'm going to show you how I get my vintage hair sets brushed out and talk a little bit about the Middy haircut. For those of you who have never heard of the Middy haircut, it is a very classic haircut that was developed in the 1940s and 50s to help ease hair curling sets. So when you pin curled your hair a certain way, it would come out in a beautiful wave cascading down with not too much weight on the hair from the way that it is layered. It's super cool. I wish I had done it so much sooner than I did. Initially, I had some apprehension about getting my hair cut that way just because I wasn't sure how I was going to wear it straight. I wish I had enough gumption to set my hair every day, but frankly, my hair needs a rest. I dance a lot. It goes through a lot of different things. It's been bleached, it's been dyed, it's just been through the ringer. So I knew that I would have to wear it straight, and it's not really a haircut traditionally chosen to be worn straight. It's sometimes compared to like a Ramones haircut. I'll do a little pop-up of what that is. So really short layers that frame the face and go all the way down into like a horseshoe in the back. And that's not a totally off description of what a Middy looks like straight, but luckily for me, since I went for the extra long Middy, I'm able to just part my hair a certain way and it just looks like kind of a modern shag haircut, which is totally fine with me. For more reference with the Middy haircut, Marilyn Monroe had the baby Middy, so the shortest one you can have. But if you remember like her iconic hairdo, it had a certain shape that was achieved because of the Middy haircut. I'll put more information in the box down below of where you can learn about the Middy, learn about pin curl sets and these little official vintage historical references that I'm going off of. And if you're interested in getting a Middy haircut and you live in the Fort Collins area, I highly suggest you go to Lacy Decker. I'll put her info in the description box as well, but she just absolutely nails vintage styling, haircuts and color and setting. She's just the whole package. So thank you, Lacy, so much for changing my hair life, making me feel fabulous on so many occasions. And girl, we're definitely going to be keeping up this Middy haircut. Alright, so let's go ahead and start getting this hair into shape. I curled it with a curling iron. I used a 1/4 inch thick barrel for that, and then immediately pinned the curl up to my head. Some areas I changed the direction from clockwise to counterclockwise depending on the effect that I want. And this video will be more about the brush out than how I set my hair, but I will do one of those at some point. It's just very time consuming, and today I just want to do a short and sweet, like, satisfying video where you can see in pretty quick time how a vintage hairstyle can be achieved. Also, shout out to my sweet burlesque sister Gigi Deluge, the sexiest cat lady in the world, for giving me this amazing scarf. It's got little black cats on it. I'm absolutely obsessed. It's always the scarf I choose when I have to tie up my pin curl set. So thank you, Gigi. I love you so much, my darling. Alright, here we go. It's never really a glamorous way for me to undo this. So this is what my hair looks like under the scarf. I used this curling iron and I just curled each piece and re-curled it up and pinned it down with these little kind of alligator style clips that you can get in a huge quantity at Sally's Beauty Supply. I think they literally sell a box of them. So quite reasonably priced, definitely make this process easier. So now we're going to take all these clips out. I'm going to fast forward through because it can be a little time consuming. So here we go. Okay, so here's what it looks like right after. Kind of crazy. I tried a new sort of a pin curl direction pattern up here, so that's why it's splitting, but I'm pretty excited to see how this brushes out. And always give yourself a little check to make sure you don't still have a clip in, or else your brush will get caught on it and will be very traumatic for you. But just for quick reference, these are the clips that I'm talking about a little bit closer up. You just work like this. Here is the other end, and I just find that these are so much easier to maneuver than using like a bobby pin, because those can get lost like crazy. So definitely love these clips. Well, let's get into the brush out. I'm gonna speed this one up too, but wish me luck. It's always kind of a luck of the draw thing with how something will brush out, unless you're an absolute madman and can do it perfectly every time, and I'm not that bitch. So we're gonna just see how it goes. Enjoy. Okay, so here's after literally maybe a minute and a half of brushing it out. Now previously, before I got the Middy haircut, it was such a task to even get to this point. Like, I'm pretty satisfied. For an everyday look, this would be fine. Like, if I was going to a burlesque show, I'd probably tease it up a bit more. But as you can see, it has this nice swoop down. And on this side, it has the curls just variate down, which is so awesome. I just get so thrilled every time I brush this hair out because it's so much easier. Honestly, I could probably just spray this and go. So I'm gonna finesse it just a little bit more, and then we're gonna set it with hairspray and talk a little bit more. So this has been one of my staple hairsprays for many, many years. I get it at Sally's Beauty Supply. It's the Beyond the Zone freezing spray, and I love it because it really holds things in place and it can be brushed through without turning white. Some hairsprays like Aquanet, they'll hold the shit out of your hair, like it will not move. But if you want to run your hands through it or brush it to change the shape a little bit, it turns white. And that's just not an option for me because I have to change my hair often because I have multiple shows in a week, and sometimes I need my hair up and what have you. So this is definitely one of my favorite things to use to set my hair. Another key thing for me when I'm finishing off a hairstyle like this is to spray it and smooth as I go. So I want this to be very smooth. Just give it a little spray and use my hand, or you can even use the actual hairspray if it's like this kind of a canister. And I just go all around and smooth out the parts I want to be extra slick. We're gonna let this dry down a little bit. I'm gonna take a look at the back and kind of mess with that, and then we'll be back. Alright, so we've let it dry. I kind of pinned it into a certain shape. Hopefully it stays. I did spray the bejesus out of it. So let's go ahead and carefully remove these little clips. See how we did. Ah, there we go. That turned out really well. Oh, I love this haircut. I know I keep going on about it, but it just makes it so much easier to do hairstyles like this. And I took a little gander at the back and brushed through it a little bit, and I'll give you a little look at that. that turned out well. I am so pleased. I'm actually doing this preemptively because I have a show tomorrow night. So what I'll probably do is re-roll all the curls, or at least not exactly the same way that I had it, but kind of get them back into a curl shape and pin them down and sleep on it just so that the set looks a bit more fresh tomorrow. But generally, these sorts of sets, if I do them well and take my time, can last probably 3 to 4 days. They obviously change a little bit, but it's all very workable for a vintage hairstyle, so it works. Well, thank you so much for watching this quick little brush out Middy haircut sort of explanation video. I will do a more in-depth video on how I set my hair coming up here soon, and we'll play around with other types of setting besides the curling iron way, which is honestly the one I do the most, but we'll try a wet set and other sort of heating tools I have to get different effects. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, my name is bangbangvonloola, and remember that the future is bright.